Hello everyone. In this lesson we'll go over summary and paraphrase. Summarizing is pretty easy, but you can't summarize a lot. What do you think might happen if you summarize too much or too often? Well, for one thing, you might look lazy, like you couldn't bother to find the right pages. Or your paper might just skim the surface of the topic. If your paper lacks detail, and summaries do lack detail, you can lose a lot of credit. Still, summaries are helpful when used correctly. What is a good use of a summary? Often you need a summary in the essay's introduction. Here is a summary of the story, A Worn Path. You may also need a summary in the conclusion. The summary briefly recaps your own essay's main points. Annotated bibliographies also require strong summary skills. Here is a citation, and here is a summary of the cited source. Each one of the citations will have a summary. And finally, the literature review is another time when you need to have strong summary skills. The literature review is common in the social sciences. It gives an overview of sources that you have read during your research process, and it shows how your research fits into the general context of your research area. Paraphrases and summaries must not change the author's ideas, but they must always use your own words. You may blend summaries or paraphrases with quotes if quotes are set off with quotation marks. When you read this example, you know which words are the student's because the student's words are outside the quotation marks. Accuracy is essential. You must preserve the author's meaning and organization. Summaries should be limited to about 1/5 of the length of the original passage. Keep the author's major ideas. For summaries, details such as examples and specific facts should be cut. State the author's main idea and supporting ideas in your own words. Let's look at some examples of summarizing. The original text reads, "The vulnerability of water supplies to climate change can be extended to vulnerability in the growing of crops and production of food." Here's our summary. First, climate change affects water supply and then crops and food. Some common words have no good substitutes, so we're keeping them. Mostly, you will need to paraphrase your primary and secondary sources, putting authors' ideas into your own words. If you don't, your essay will have too many different styles. Follow these guidelines. Paraphrases must present the author's ideas accurately. Preserve the author's general order of ideas. Use your words. Change distinctive words. If changing is not possible, enclose distinctive words in quotation marks. For example, dizzying is distinctive, so it's enclosed in quotation marks. Paraphrases also must use your own sentence style. This is where things can get tricky. Here are some suggestions for changing your style. Shorten long sentences. Here's an example. The original passage states, "In other words, all of our efforts of carbon trading, switching off lights, the Kyoto Protocol, and so on, have had a discernible effect so far. Less than zero." My shorter paraphrase says, "Attempts to conserve and to reduce emissions have failed to produce results." The paraphrase is more concise, but it keeps the most important ideas. Careful now, if you're constantly looking back and forth at the text and your notes as you write the paraphrase, then you're following the author too closely. This is how accidental plagiarism often occurs. Here's a better technique. First, read the passage carefully a few times. Take time to really understand. Next, state the ideas aloud in your own words.
No one source. No, that's too similar. Archer reviews alternative energies. Okay, that's better.
When you can easily talk about the author's ideas, and you're sure you haven't changed them, then put away the source and write the paraphrase in your notes. Here is another example. I'll just read the paraphrase. This is the original text. No single energy source or strategy seems sufficient to solve the problem by itself. But by using a combination of new energy sources and strategies, it may be possible to avoid dangerous climate change. Here is the paraphrase. Archer reviews alternative energies and other ways to fight global warming. He concludes that there is no easy fix, but a variety of approaches might help. So remember, when summarizing, use your words, blend with short quotes, be accurate, preserve meaning and organization, limit length, keep major ideas. And when paraphrasing, present the author's ideas accurately, preserve author's order, use your words, change distinctive words, use your own sentence style. Please see your handbook for examples, or feel free to ask for help after class or during your instructor's office hours. You can use a quality website such as the Purdue University OWL, or visit our free tutors at the Academic Success Center.